All right. Hello. Um, Something has come to my attention of an ethical matter that I'd like to address before I move forward with this channel. It is of an imperative ethical matter, and if I don't talk about this, if I don't bring this out in the open, then my channel is um, open to um, a scrutiny, and I don't. I want to maintain integrity because that's what this channel is about. It's about moving. It's about the individuation process. It's about healing, and I a lot of the material in my my future posts will be about personality disorders and relationships and the relationship imperative of how the relationships create an imperative for healing. And I it has been brought to my attention that perhaps some of my content can be misconstrued as a passive aggressive accusation toward anyone in relationship to me, because I am being quite transparent about who I am. That's what I've decided to do. I want to destigmatize cluster B personality disorders. It is a topic that is very close to me, but I have qualifications to share some information. I have a master's degree in psychology, and I have been studying psychology since I was 18. I am now 45. My master's degree, although I am not a clinical psychologist, I cannot diagnose anyone, and I will not do that. Um, I have specialized in personality development. My master's thesis, part of it focused on antisocial personality. So I have been interested in cluster B personalities for a very long time, kind of intuitively knowing that that was where there was something wrong with me, or not wrong necessarily, but where a weakness was inside myself that I needed to heal. So this channel is going. It has a my channel has a ethical responsibility that I am destigmatizing cluster B personalities. I am not anytime if I am talking about if I'm talking about any relationships with anybody, my mother, my family, intimate partnerships, whether current or later in my life, I'm not going to be sharing that personal information. I will be exploring my process of individuation as triggered by um, certain psychodynamics, but I won't be going into it personally in a very deep way. I'm going to be mostly focused on the research and the content of my research. But I am going to be candid and transparent about who I am. Um, I think that's important, but I just want to make this clear that I am not here to um, I'm not. This channel is not a passive aggressive um, accusation toward anyone who is close to me, and I don't want any of that to be. I don't want that. I don't want because I am talking about narcissistic relationships. That's the thing too. Let's destigmatize narcissistic or borderline. Narcissistic, borderline, antisocial personality, histrionic, schizoid. I have studied personality theory, including Carl Jung and relational object relations, for years. I have um, I have a model that I have worked on for years and years and years, and I'm ready to put it out there. And my channel is going to be how I am healing as a borderline with narcissistic traits, who has in my past had very toxic behaviors, and I'm taking ownership of that, and I want to destigmatize that my who I am. I am awakening to who I am as a human being. I am a borderline with narcissistic traits, bipolar, uh, um, attachment insecure person who has traumatic experience. I have complex post traumatic stress disorder. Now, for me, I'm being transparent about myself, but I don't have the right to speak about anybody else. I'm only speaking for myself here. I am not a clinical psychologist. I do not have the ability to diagnose anyone else with, in particular, a cluster B personality disorder. I am clinically diagnosed borderline personality with narcissistic traits. I am clinically diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I want this channel to be integral and ethical. And I think the proof is in the pudding, but I just wanted to put this out there. There is nothing wrong with being a cluster B personality disorder. Our behavior can be wrong, and we have to own up to that behavior. Our behavior can be toxic, but the place that it's coming from is a place of deep woundedness. And I only speak for myself here. I am in the process of healing, and I want to be candid and transparent about my healing process, and also share years of research that I have been doing as a master's degree person in psychology, and share the knowledge that I have. And so utilizing the platform of YouTube to connect to my community of humanity, to share my experience in the individuation process, and also to further my research and share my research in what I have learned about cluster B personality disorders, um, what I've learned about the individuation process, both experientially and theoretically, and the conjunctive use of astrology. I also want to destigmatize astrology. Astrology isn't this, sun sign stuff. It's an ancient, divine, intelligent map to the archetype of the soul. It is the most ancient personality, a model of personality development out there. And Carl Jung was an astrologer. And of course, in our culture, there's a lot of things in our culture that is just completely misunderstood. Narcissism is misunderstood. Borderline is misunderstood. And so I'm not evil because I have trauma. I am not evil because I have narcissistic traits. I am not evil because I have in the past had toxic behaviors in relationships. I am taking responsibility for that. And as I step forward in this transparency, I want to give others who have these issues the strength to stand in their own healing process and not to feel ashamed of it, and to be okay with themselves, and to be okay. We can't hold on, but the past is there as a guide to help us learn, not to shame ourselves. And this channel is going to be, it's not to hurt anyone. It is not to berate anyone. It is focused on my research as a psychologist, and it is focused on me sharing transparently my healing process. That does not mean that I'm going to be sharing personal information, nor does that mean I'm going to be diagnosing anyone except for myself, because I am a clinically diagnosed borderline personality. And I have wisdom both experientially, phenomenologically, and theoretically, and studying, to so much information to share. And it's just exploding out of me, and I need an outlet. And this is what my YouTube channel is for. It is for me to connect with my community of humanity. But I have an ethical responsibility, and that was brought to my attention. And I was like, wow, oh my gosh, absolutely. I need to make this clear. I need to put this out there immediately. So the integrity of who I am, the integrity of my channel, the integrity of my motivations are clear, and that I don't inadvertently hurt anyone. And because what I'm doing is taking an immense amount of courage, but this is exactly what I need to do to heal. And that's what I'm doing. And I don't know if I covered everything. Maybe I didn't. Let me see. I do have some notes here. Let me look at the notes here. What do I need to see? I think that's it. If there is anything else I need to say, I'll put it in another video. But for right now, suffice it to say that this channel, I want this channel, especially with the things that I'm going to be covering. I have to lay out an ethical disclaimer that this channel, I'm going to do my very best that I can as an imperfect human being to maintain ethical standards in my sharing of my personal experience without sharing the intimate details of anybody else in my field. It is not my right to do that. I am speaking for myself only. And my ethical duty to share information in a way that is integral to psychology as a science and art, and that's all I can say. Anyway, I think I covered everything. I hope, and yeah, But I'm glad it was brought to my attention that I needed to address this, and I'm glad I did. So that way I can continue on with this channel, knowing that that's put out there, and that I kind of ethically know what direction I'm taking this channel, because I do have an ethical responsibility to maintain integrity with the information I am sharing about myself personally, and what I'm not sharing about anyone else, because that is not anybody's business. But I am being transparent about myself, and anything that I'm sharing. Please do not make any assumptions that I am speaking about anybody. I am speaking purely for myself. I cannot diagnose anybody else in my field. I am only speaking for myself. I am speaking for my individuation process, and I'm speaking from years and years of study of personality theory, and years of study of um, analytical psychology, and moving that forward in relationship to astrology, the conjunctive use of astrology, and my personal healing process. And I hope that this channel, as it evolves, will be a platform for a community to heal, a platform for people to heal, to evolve, and to learn. All right, that's it.